Okay, so it says that we're live. Let me check. Okay, something that we're doing differently this year. First of all, happy 22, happy new year. Okay, happy new year. Something that we're doing that is going to be different is we're going live. I want to try to do Monday through Friday. Okay, we're live every weekday. Um, and we're doing vertical and horizontal at the same time. So I don't know how that's going to work out for me. Okay, I'm not sure how that is going to work out, but we are okay. I just have to make sure that it says that I'm live because sometimes it don't be saying that I'm live. Anyway, welcome to 2026, you guys. Oh my God, I miss y'all so much. I went to Mississippi. I had fun in Mississippi with my family. We were not strict over the Christmas holiday. We had a wonderful time. My grandma, she cooked, but she also like ordered out some food or whatever. And so she had ribs. She had this lady make a cake. It was called a caramel cake. Oh my God. It was the best thing I ever had. And them ribs was so amazing, y'all. So amazing. But tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. I was eating outside and when people started leaving and packing plates and stuff, I saw a cousin leave with about 8 plates. And when we were cleaning up at the end, we was like, where the ribs at? Cause we was trying to, like, let's round two, right? The ribs are gone. The missing ribs for the holidays, y'all. The missing ribs. But yeah, I had a good time. For New Year's, my mom and I went to Galveston or whatever. To sit by the beach, and it was cold, but I didn't plan the temperature. Like, I didn't think about the temperature when I was going, but yeah, like I had a good time. And so, really setting intentions for the year, right? Setting intentions. What do we want to do for the year? And then reflecting on last year. So this year, we're running a strict program. I'm finally reaching, I feel like, my discipline era. I feel like everybody had theirs probably last year, but this is going to be the first time I'm going to be actually like disciplined because I feel like I was able to get rid of all of the barriers and any issues, right? And we're going to talk about what I'm talking about, but anything that was impeding on me being able to show up, we got rid of it last year. So last year, and I know last year when I started the video for 2025, I told you it was year 9, but I told you the number for the year was 1, but last year was a year 9. Okay. Karma. That's the energy I'm getting. Karma, endings, reckoning. Your girl filed bankruptcy last year. So yeah, and I feel like, me filing bankruptcy was the tower moment, so to speak, of all of the decisions that I've been making financially and just recalibrating, especially with this new economy that we in, right? So I did what was best for me, and now we're able to start new and fresh in our year 1. This year is actually the year 1. And it's a lot, right? I feel like last year, a lot of people, not just me, they were going through a lot. Like, it kind of just hit us really bad last year, right? And it was a lot, y'all. Like, it was a lot. Like, let's just hold some space for last year. And we made it, right, to the new year, but let's just hold some space from last year because last year was a lot. And for me, it felt like a rock bottom moment, right? A rock bottom moment. I even talked to my cousins and they were talking about rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like, just feeling like this is it, y'all. Like, I don't know what y'all got in store for me, but this is it. And so last year, I feel like we saw a lot of endings. We saw a lot of, disappointments, a lot of failures, a lot of deaths. You know what I mean? And so now we're coming into this new year, and I feel like the energy, it's a year one. So that means we need to be focusing on ourselves, things that we can control in our own lives, right? The number of beginnings, okay? Number of beginnings, initiating things, starting things, and being mindful. So setting those intentions and starting the things, but keeping in mind that we're going to be in another 9-year cycle. So you want to make sure that whatever you're starting, you're not just doing stuff just to do it. I feel like if you're just doing things to go along, to get along and to keep up appearances, all of that stuff, that's that karma that ended last year. This year, we're more authentic to ourselves, right? Authentic to ourselves and doing what truly makes us happy as an individual, okay? Some people are like, this year is a 10. Well, the number 10 is a culmination of 1 through 9, right? So that means all of our things that we're doing, we're going to hit it full force, but we're going to use all the information, all the knowledge, and all of our experiences as we move into this new thing. So we're not starting from scratch. We're not inventing the wheel. We're going to go ahead and start, right? Whatever project it is that we're trying to do. I just want to give you the energy that I'm feeling for the year, because we set intentions, and I'm the type of person, I set intentions and I set vibes. I don't be setting goals. When I talk to my people, they be like, girl, you didn't set a goal. You set a vibe. You set the energy tone that you wanted for the year. You didn't set a goal. And so it doesn't matter what you do, you'll reach your goal. See, I be circumventing the rules and everything like that. See, that's why I need a strict program, because I be finding loopholes. I don't be setting the goal. I be setting the vibe, the tone, right? Because as long as I'm happy, it doesn't matter. We reached our goal, so to speak. But this year, I want to focus on setting intentional, actionable steps to get to the year. So last year I said it was a year of 1, right? Taking it one step at a time. And I'm going to continue that because it is an actual year 1 this year. But the number is going to be 1 million. Yes, 1 million. The $1 million idea. If you had $1 million, or if you were your highest self, your $1 million person, what would you be? Like, how would you be? Like, how would you show up in the world? What would you need to do? What is that for you? You know what I mean? And then work backwards, okay? Work backwards from what is your highest self? Your highest self, your most ambitious, like you have fulfilled everything you ever wanted to do in your life. That's your 1 million version, right? The 1 million version of yourself. What do you need to do? And then just do that, y'all. Just do that. Hold on, let me check, because I'm making sure I got my notes. I got a notebook. Look, so I am all about this year is going to be creating goals, aligned systems. So actionable goals and aligned systems, right? A routine. I have to have a routine that goes with it. And I have to make sure that I do the same thing every single time, so that, because I like to look at how have I been successful in the past, right? How have I been successful in the past? Well, the reason I can do makeup so well is because I do the makeup every single day. It's like a morning ritual. We get up, we have a little coffee, and we get in that bathroom and we put it together. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get better. We have to consistently do what we need to do so that we can reach our goal. How am I so good with the numbers? We add, subtract, multiply, and divide every day. Every day. The math has to be mathing every single day. I'm always doing math. Regular arithmetic. That's what we're doing. Okay. And so now it's just like, okay, if you really want to do this one thing, what are some barriers that are preventing you from that, right? So I'm going to just be vulnerable. You know how we do over here. You know what I mean? So, okay. My 1 million version is about visibility. To do social media, you have to be visible, right? And so it's just like, well, if you don't like what you see looking in the mirror or the camera and everything like that, then how do we change that? But at the same time, being okay with not being perfect. You gotta do the one step, and the one step is get in front of the camera and talk to the camera every single day, period. That is hard to do, right? Especially when you have other things. But I feel like now that we've gotten the finances part together, work has settled down, now we can, I feel like I can actually sit down and do what it is that I need to do, right? I feel really, really good, right? And the other thing, this year is the year of the horse. Your girl is woo-woo. Let me tell you, I'm woo-woo. So this year in, I think, I don't know, Chinese astrology, this is the year of the horse. Now, that could go for a lot of things. Horse is about transportation, movement, right? But if you move too quick, if you don't watch your step, you could be riding in a hearse, all right? Even though it's a horse, it's a hearse. Anyway, we have to be careful. Intentional steps. We don't want to move too quickly. We don't want to just move just because, you know what I mean? Just doing stuff just to do it. A lot of times when people don't know what they want to do, they kind of just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. No, we have to do intentionality. Okay, we don't want to be running nowhere fast, right? Year of the horse is about transportation. It's about movement, right? But it's horsemen at the same time. So you want to be careful this year. You want to be careful, and you have to make those intentions and everything like that. And it's just, I feel very lucky with this year. I feel like this year is going to be a good vibe for everyone if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing for the year. So some things that I felt like were triggering my visibility, and excuse me, y'all, because y'all know the first day back from doing lives, being off, girl, we be off our rocker. But the issues that we were having with visibility, our hair wasn't done. Okay, look, my hair is orange, and it's not orange. This is a half wig. Okay, this is a half wig that I had some bundles and sewed it down. My thumb is sore from yesterday trying to make sure that I am visible. I gave myself all last week and the weekend to get my life together so that I can get in front, and then my hair is orange, and it's just kind of like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. It's always going to be something, especially me, because I am a perfectionist. Okay. The other thing is overthinking things. I be having an idea, but I'm like, how can we, I just got to make sure that it makes sense, or I feel like it makes sense. But sometimes it don't have to make sense. Just showing up is enough, because you get comfortable as you go along. I know for me, I get comfortable as the person, when you first start the conversation, be like, little, cause I ain't up. But when I wake up, the conversation be hidden. You know what I mean? So we have to work on that. Strict program. This program is just showing up each and every day, Monday through Friday, because I need the weekend to get my life together. Anyway, so some systems, the program. What is the program for myself? And hopefully this inspires you. Okay. The program for me is, after work, I need to sit down before I eat, before we eat, and record our video. Okay. We can't do our live stream after we eat, because I get sleepy. Okay. And I be ready to lay down after I eat. So yeah, we have to do it before we eat. Okay. And then if I'm tired after work, because we do wake up early, we're going to have hot chocolate, but we can only have that after. You know what I mean? Because I like to eat. So we have to use food. We have to have a system that goes with the food routine or whatever. I noticed a trend that when I get home, I eat and I sit down. I'm not doing no live stream. Okay. So we have to make sure that we do not eat. That was the small minute change, was not eating before we do the live stream. Okay. Yeah. Discipline. I have to trick myself into discipline. I have to make things so easy and so lazy girl friendly. That is how we're going to reach our goal, right? Everything is set up all the time. The camera doesn't move. The lights don't move. Everything is all there. What do we need? We're going to buy it and we got it, period. So it's just kind of like we have to sit down in this chair and you have to make the system, right, easy for yourself. Otherwise, another thing, you guys, I have my planner. I got a new planner for this year. I noticed something. This is an insert for the weeklies, okay? And this is the one that I came up with. Okay, I made designated lines for each thing. Okay, and so at work, we're only going to have 3 lines. Okay, and then for content, we have 4 lines, and then admin or whatever, like just administrative things I need to do for the channel, that's 3 lines. Because I have noticed that I will tack a whole bunch of stuff. On this thing and be mad that I didn't get it all done. You know what I'm saying? Because that's impossible, and then it just trickles down. I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like we need to do better at task management. I can't do everything all the time. And so that's a new thing that I've done for my planner inserts, okay? And we're doing really good with planning. Something that I noticed that I didn't do last year that I did in the previous years, my YouTube content calendar and everything was in a different planner last year. And it wasn't clicking for me. Meanwhile, the years prior, YouTube was the calendar. Like, I planned my entire life around my YouTube channel. You see what I'm saying? And last year, I didn't do that. I was trying to, I don't know what I was doing. I just thought I could have a designated, like separated. No, I need everything to be in one planner. And I need to look at it every single day. Okay? That's what I need to do. I can't just have a planner over there for something. I need to have anything that's important to me. It needs to be in the planner that I'm going to use every single time. Okay, that's the strict program. Showing up every day, we taking attendance, and then we have to make sure that we are tracking it every day, and it needs to be on the planner that we use for everything, right? And then we need to plan YouTube. YouTube come first, okay? YouTube comes first, then the job, right? I know. I be thinking that the job come first, and it do come first, but like, not anymore. Not anymore. It's like I deprioritized working. I did more than I already have, and I feel like that is a touchy subject for some people, but you really have to. Like, I told y'all, I have a finance person at my job, and he is really good with numbers, and we have decided that we have to have extra income. Now, how am I gonna get the extra income? When am I gonna have time to do this extra income? That's why we gotta have the YouTube thing. Because I'm not going back to school, y'all. I'm not going back to school. I'm not doing any of that. So we have to make sure that we're following the strict program of discipline for this year, right? So let me look at my list. Other than my planner, the planner is the thing. But the thing is, we need to take steps. Because I plan, organize. And the issue is we're not doing. We're planning, we're learning, but we're not doing. So we need to be doing more than we're planning. And, the plan is a rough draft. I don't like it when things don't go according to the plan, personally, because we planned it. So when things don't happen the way we planned it, I feel some type of way. Because I feel like I wasted my time sitting here trying to come up with a plan, and it was going to go this other way. It makes me mad. But at the same time, you kind of need something, to look at. You don't want to just be, we talked about intentional. You got to be intentional with whatever you're doing. Because if you don't have an idea where you want to go, then anywhere will do, right? So we want to make sure that but I have to take steps. Okay? Taking those steps. All right. So the next thing, again, showing up every day. Another thing, time blocking. That's another thing that this new insert is going to do, is going to help me time block and plan, because I can't, like, some of the tasks take a lot of time, so I do better, like, if something take a lot of time, do that on Monday, right? Do that on Monday or Tuesday. All right. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm doing easy stuff so I can get out of here. Okay. I'm probably not even going to be here on Friday. I'm probably not even going to be here on Friday. Right. So I don't need nothing hard on those days. Just something to just do and then go home. Right. Because that's what I'm not coming tomorrow. Right. So I have to look at it like that with my to-do list. Okay. And then I have to set better boundaries. I took an inventory on myself, and I noticed that when I have free time, I socialize. I be socializing. I be on the phone. I'm talking to people. I'm doing all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, I don't have time to do because you talking. You having fun. You supposed to be doing work. You know what I mean? So, because I feel like when I do my live streams, I have to plan my live streams. I need to have like talking points. I need this. I need to actually feel the topic at hand, right? So we have to have that quiet time to really put that together, right? The other thing is, it's all action oriented. I'm not going to feel bad for myself this year. This year, we are not feeling bad. Oftentimes, I do not be feeling bad for other people, but this year, it's going to be more self-focused. Like, I do not feel bad because I feel like in anything that I've done, I feel like I've always put myself in a better position. I trust my intuition. I trust my goals, my ambitions, everything. And I feel like I'll always put myself in a better, like, we're going to always be doing better. Always, every time you see me, we on the up and up. It might be looking bad for right now, but we're going to be on the up and up, period, point blank. Okay. So no, I don't be feeling bad for myself. I feel like if there's something that I don't have, if there's something that we don't see, is because we have not done the work to get there and we need to do better. And that's pretty much it. So no, we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves, right? And I'm also going to be logging every day, like a, I don't want to say a habit tracker, right? But it's kind of like a habit tracker, and I need to hit the attendance. Like so I basically turned my goal into like an actual job of attendance. Like, you have to show up every day. You got to clock in. So every time I clock in, I'm going to highlight it. We clocked in today. Woo woo. You know what I mean? And so we're going to just do it. It's Monday through Friday after work. We're already done up, dolled up or whatever before we eat. And we're going to just tracking it. That way I can visibly see it. It needs to be in front of me. Like, if something is not in front of me, I'll forget about it. If somebody don't bring it up all the time, you know what I mean? And the issue is, like, I be thinking about so much, and I think about other things a lot. And the more you think about it, you think that those other things are more important than this one thing. Or I like to read my books. I like to meditate, and I like to do all this stuff. But it's like, girl, it's time to get away from the transcendentals. You need to come back to earth, right? Let's get down to earth and get down to brass tacks and get these things done that you want to get done, period. Anyway, the other thing is, we're not listening to other people. I feel like in the years past, we have heard everybody's opinion. We have listened to everybody's opinion. We have learned everything that we feel like we need to learn about certain situations from the people that we already talked to. Like, you can already size up the people in your life and say, oh, you're good at this. You're good at that. This is your expertise. This is this. This is that. I wouldn't trust you about this. I wouldn't go here for that. You see what I'm saying? So, not saying that we're not listening to people in a disrespectful sense and everything like that, like we're being rude, because I still believe that you can learn from anybody. Everybody got a word. But I'm not going to get my ribs from McDonald's. I'm not going for certain things from certain places, right? So no, we're not going to be listening to people, and we're not going to be sharing our like goals and stuff. Like, between you and me, we're not sharing our goals like that, because again, we have already determined that these people are not going to be able to understand or see the vision. Right? The vision is given to the person that can see it. Everybody else ain't gonna see it. You have to make it real. I'm making it real. And so we don't need like approval or validation from other people, you know, alienation. It's not fun, you know, and that's part of the reason why I like to like share things and talk about things, but it's just kind of like, you know, they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand. I waste their time trying to figure that out. And the other part though is, you know, we're focusing on ourselves. We're keeping our hand and paper and ideas on our own paper. I feel like this year, a lot of things are going to be happening, right, in the world, like they've already been happening. All right. You don't have to go to a psychic or anything. You already know what it is. Things are going to be happening. And unless it is directly affecting you and me and our five fingers, things that we can touch, things that we can see, things that we can perceive right here in front of us, I don't think that we should be worried about it. I'm not going to be worried about it. You know what I mean? Like getting our goals done, because I feel like everything outside of ourselves on social media or anything like that, it's a distraction to keep us from getting to that next level. Not saying that we can't hold space. We're going to do 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3 for everything that's going on in the world. And we feel so bad and so sorry for the things that, you know, that's going on, you know, for the people, whoever they are. But the thing is, it's just kind of like there's nothing that we can do. Like I can't go outside and do nothing about it. So I'm not going to raise my blood pressure up. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do none of that. I'm not going to do none of that. And I'm not like, I'm already the type of person that's not into hate watching or anything like that. Like, okay, over the break, my family, you know, certain family members want to watch the whole Diddy case. Okay, here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care about that, because I feel like in our community, we know that certain things are transpiring and we let those things happen. So when they come out, it's no shock, right? And then the other part to that is, where did he learn that from? There are bigger fish out there. And if they ain't doing nothing about the bigger fish, then why are we worried about this small fish? Let's just move on, because at the end of the day, we have other things to worry about, period. And so, and it's the same playbook every single time, you guys. Like every time there's something that is going on in the world that's really important, they bring up something else in pop culture to keep us off from being focused on what we really need to be focusing on. Like, girl, like, you know, and I'm not saying that we are so short-sighted that we can't focus on multiple things at the same time, but it's just kind of like, why even give it space and energy? Okay, because that's the currency. We think that money is the currency, but really it's your attention, your intention, your attention, all of that, that is the currency. And so with that, we're not giving any currency, attention, anything to anything that don't have nothing to do with us, nothing to do with our goals, our ambitions, leveling up, becoming our best self. Like if it don't have nothing to do with that, if it's something that's going to spike my cortisol, my stress, I don't want to deal with it. I don't. We have to protect our peace. We have to protect our peace, because what happens when you get overly emotional and you get stuck in this fight or flight cycle that they always have going, you respond and you move quicker. And usually when you move based off of fight or flight, you're going to be reckless. And what did I tell you? It is a year of movement, but we have to make sure that it's intentional movement. Otherwise, you could be being dragged behind in that doggone hearse, right? So you want to be careful. You want to take care of yourself, take care of your body, right? Take care of the people you care about around you. Control what you can control around you. If you can't control it, then I don't know what to do about it. You know, we're going to say a little prayer, 1, 2, 3, and then we're done. We're done. We're moving on, right? Yeah. So I had to look at my notes. I felt the word. I felt that word because I feel like so much happened last year. And people are already feeling hopeless. Like, how is this year? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure we're reaching a good start for this year. I don't know if we're reaching a good start for the year, but the thing is, something that I'm noticing that's going to be a little bit different, whereas there's only usually there's a targeted demographic of people having problems, and I've already told y'all in my woo-woo series, about the Pluto and everything like that this is the same energy around, like, the Harlem Renaissance and all these different things. And so what's very funny about that is that, during the Harlem Renaissance and, we have Black liberation movements, Black people are getting their just due, while other people are facing the depression. So that's why it's important for us to control how we feel and what we think and everything, because pull that energy back. The main thing that people do, narcissists and different things of that nature, when they don't have a host, they need a host. Like they feeding for a host, right? And if you don't give them that, so it's like, we're not going to award bad behavior. We're not going to pay attention to bad behavior. We're not going to engage. If it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, then we're not engaging. We're focusing on what's in front of us, what we need to do for us, period. And everybody else going to have to figure out what they're going to do for themselves, right? You have to put your energy toward yourself, your goal, and ambition. I know, strict program, but I'm very strict about that. That's very important, because when you start worrying about other stuff, you can't do what you need to do. You worried about them, you ain't got no time for yourself. That's why it's important. I'm very strict on that. Very strict. Gotta be strict on that. You got to, for yourself. You know what I mean? I believe that 2026 is going to be a good year. 2026 is going to be a year of, I think what I saw, me and my mom, we were watching Don Lemon on YouTube. We had a good time. We went to the beach, but then we watched Don Lemon on YouTube. And so, okay, so all of the news anchors were, released. Okay, and they went to YouTube. And so what I learned from that is, your rock bottom could be a strong redirection. Okay, strong redirection. And then with the redirection, you create a new pathway for success. And you now own that. You own your platform. And so now you can be yourself in your element. Right? You can be yourself in your element on your time, doing things the way you want to. So I feel like when people talk about AI is taking over and everything like that, no, it's not, because people want to see authenticity. People want to see real people, personality. You know what I mean? AI can't do a personality, right? Here's the thing. Instead of looking at jobs, now we're looking at what opportunities can you create for yourself. Right? Year one means you doing it by your lonesome, right? Number 1 million, right? So think of that as you are looking into the year. How can we, use these? Listen, I was looking some stuff up and I learned about AI agents. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Girl, they have AI employees that can do spreadsheets and do all type of stuff. You need to use AI to be your employee, to help you come up with something for yourself, right? Because it's not going to be about who can give you a job. It's already like kind of hard for people, right? Looking for a job. We have to be strict with ourselves. We have access to too much technology. We got access to too much time, right? We need to be, these people have figured out a way to get AI to do their job for them. What you gonna do when the higher ups figure that out? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you need to figure out how you can get AI employees to do the things that you need to do for yourself, for your own business. AI agents, workflows. I was looking at all of that over the break. You know what I mean? So it's just like, we need to really, and then the lemon drop, we're making lemon drops and lemonade. out of lemons, right? So we're taking what we're given and we're putting our own spin on it, doing what's best for us, you know? And so I was really inspired. I was really, really inspired because oftentimes we feel like we don't get these opportunities. But maybe you were supposed to create your own opportunity. Okay. And we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Okay. We're going to be talking about creating your own opportunity. I think that tomorrow's video that I want is setting yourself up with small wins for bigger victories. Today was a warm up live stream. Okay. This was a warm up live stream just to get the juices flowing, just to get me ready. You know, like we be a little rusty the first time. So thank you for being patient. But I am going to be running a strict program. I made sure I got a new planner and I made sure that let me show y'all what I did. Okay. Okay. So I got a new planner. Okay. Yes. Anyway, what I like to do on my planner and I was making inserts. I was doing all of that. That's what I was doing last week for real. And so I made my vision board. Okay. And something that I put on my vision board was the planner that I have now. And so for me, that's a way to trick my brain into saying, oh, you already got one thing on your list. Let's see if you can get something else. Or you're so close to the next thing that you want on your list. You know what I mean? And I think it's important to make sure that whatever you put on your vision, that it is something that has an action that goes to it. Okay. And I'm going to keep saying that because I am the queen of vibes. It's like, how do I want to feel when I get this thing? And that is how I be manifesting. But like, I was like, I didn't really feel like I had something that I really wanted. Like, yeah, I want to be good on YouTube or whatever. But for me, YouTube is more about communicating and expressing myself. I'm not like getting paid for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm having fun, right? And I want to make sure that it stays fun because I don't need nobody asking me for no money or whatever. Like, cause when we talk about money, that's a different person. You're talking to a different person when we start talking about money. So it's just like, I just want to be in my creative element, but I feel like I need discipline because my motivation is like, you know, I'll do it when I get to it. But what happened when you never get to it? And so now this thing has fallen to the wayside. But I really feel like, you know, the recalibration of my finances, I was able to, you know, take a whole weight off of myself so that I can show up for my content. And so, yeah, like I be making my own inserts and planner inserts and stuff like that. Sometimes the inserts that I like, they don't work well. Like I showed you, like I got to put some lines on there to organize all the different things. And then I do a max of 3 things for the day for this specific thing, because I would try to do everything and then be burnt out and then be mad. Right. And then, you know, having those conversations with other people, you know, especially at your job. And it's just kind of like, I'm putting all this pressure on myself and they don't even care like that for real. Well, if they don't care, I don't care. Move on, right? I need to be better about that. Over analyzing, overextending myself, over socializing. All of that is out for the year. All of that is out. Okay. So, you know, the words for this year are going to be implementation, execution. We are working with verbs. I want to make sure I said that. We are working with the verbs. Okay. And we are showing up consistently and we're doing inventory to see how my routine needs to be. Okay, what the routine needs to be. We made a half wig. You know, we're not going to put all the heat on the hair, just a little bit up here, and we're going to do well. Now, I bleached this hair, and you can see my hair is like the blonde, but then this part is like the orange look. I don't know, but it don't look like that in person. I don't know, but we are working hard. Y'all know I be rusty on the first one, but tomorrow we're going to be talking about Setting yourself up with small wins. I had a conversation with my cousin without giving y'all too much information. I talked to my family members, and it makes me sad when people are not where they want to be in their life. I be looking down on myself like, oh my God, I don't have this, I don't have that. I just saw an Aston Martin. I just saw a Porsche drive by. I saw a Corvette. I want to be in the Corvette. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in a Corvette. I want to be in the Lamborghini that we just saw. Just walk by. I want to be in there. That's where I want to be at. But there are some people that wish they could be driving the Nissan Altima. Somebody wish they could be driving the Toyota Corolla, right? They just want a car that got the handles on it. They just want the car that got all the pieces to the car, okay? When they drive, it have the mouth on the front of it. You know, they just trying to get the AB. They just want some gas, you know? And so with me being as ambitious and just like, I got to do this, and this, I had this conversation with my mom, like just feeling like I'm not doing enough or I'm not where I want to be. And it's just like my mom, she's like, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I don't want you to feel like, you know, yeah, I put pressure on you growing up and I'm sorry about that, but I am proud of you and who you have become and everything. Like I am just, and that made me so happy. It really did, y'all, because it's just, you blink and life is already passing you by, right? And so it's just like, talk to my family members, see some friends, you know, that I went to high school with, you know, and they're just not where they want to be. You know what I mean? And so I wonder how life would be if I didn't have, my mom was on me, bro. Like she was on me. I was like, oh, you know, but I don't know. It just made me the person I am today. Like you got to do it. You got to be. And so they didn't have that. And so, but I also have this thing like there's always a way. There's always a ram in the bush. You might get down, but we're not gonna lay down. You see what I'm saying? We gonna do something. This ain't the last, right? And I get so sad because I feel like there are people that I know and they feel like this is the end. This is it. This is all, you know, and they would be grateful or happy to be in my position. And so here go a Porsche right here. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So tomorrow I'm going to talk about setting yourself up with small wins. Okay. And hopefully that's like today, the video was me focused or whatever, but I'm hoping that, you know, with me coming up with my own strict vibes, it will inspire you to come up with your own strict vibes, but whatever your vibes are, they need to be actionable. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about different scenarios of ways that you can change your life, like change the trajectory of your life for real. And I mean, for real. I know everybody talking about, you know what I'm saying? How the world is going down the crapper. But listen, it ain't over until it's over. Okay. So I will see you on the next video.